Yeah.
Boom.
Ooh, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another amazing episode of Take Away Your Fishing. This is, hey, Chris, believe it or not, this is podcast number 18. We got 18 of these
Rolling
things
on,
all.
man. Rolling on.
We're getting it done. Hey, I'm Ken Wells. I'm the COO of Take Away Your Fishing. And with us is our Director of Boater Relations, a.k.a. Uncle Chris. What's up, brother?
What's up, buddy?
And with us, we have our special guest, which I wasn't going to do it, but we're learning this new platform. But Mr. Ryan, and I don't want to jack your last name up. So how do you say your last name?
Stelter.
Mr.
Yep.
Ryan S. is on with us from TTP Outdoors. And Dwayne, our president and founder, unfortunately cannot be with us this evening. He is taking care of some matters for the county. So he's doing some important work. And we miss you, Dwayne. But I hope this doesn't become a common occurrence. Chris, just for FYI, about a year ago, Dwayne would always find a reason to not come on the podcast ever. Like he would say, I'm doing this, I'm saving dolphins out of the ocean. And when he finally would come on, right, we would be like, my God, we're so happy that they grace us with your presence.
Yeah.
And he would sit there and laugh. So what we're going to do real quick, talk about this Greenville Expo we just got done doing. I think that was 2 weeks ago?
3 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was awesome, man. We met a lot of warriors, a lot of boaters, reconnected with the community of Greenville, North Carolina. I think from what Dwayne was saying, this is now going to become an annual event in July.
In July, yeah.
So we did very well. Again, we're not there to make money. It does help pay for the booth space, but we're there more to talk to our warriors, and introduce new warriors into the fold, share our mission, and like I said, reconnect with the community. You did good too. You were there Saturday.
Yeah.
And what was your take on that expo?
But man, it was, I really enjoyed it. It seemed like the community really supported us. The biggest thing that, for us, obviously we're there to promote our Belhaven event in October. November. Sorry about that. Yeah, Belhaven will be in November. So that was the main reason for being out there is to contact, folks in the area. And so for me, the biggest takeaway that, between all the signups we had between boaters and warriors, and then this week we've already had 2 trips by Danny Logue and has already taken 2 warriors out this week to go fishing. And that's a direct product of going to that Greenville Expo. So had we not been there, these 2 trips probably would never happen. So
Absolutely.
that's an amazing thing to see, the Take Warrior Fishing mission growing one trip at a time, as we always say. And so today was that second trip, and that was our 142nd of the year that we've put on the sheet. So we've had some cancellations along the way, but still, that's 142 trips that we have worked on this year of just one-on-one trips. So that's a big deal.
Yeah. And then we had a new sponsor, Adam Riley of Riley's Deer Processing, came up to us and was like, how do I become a gold sponsor? And we're like, let's tell you how we do it. Start feeding us, man. If y'all don't know, that dude makes, like, it's so if you shoot a deer, right? A lot of times it's gamey. When he's done processing the meat and what he does, the magic that he does with it, with the summer sausage, the pickled sausage, the hamburger, I mean, everything. It doesn't take, there's no taste of gaminess. Doesn't even taste like a deer.
No, that jalapeno something that he did, man, that stuff was killer.
Yeah, and what's awesome about Adam, he's also a Navy veteran. He's been with us on numerous events he showed up to, so he knows exactly what we're about. So it's pretty cool that he wanted to jump on. And then Easy Bait and Tackle out of Goldsboro, North Carolina, one of our longtime sponsors, donated a whole bunch of product to us, as they do every year. And again, we thank you, Dwayne, not Dwayne Uri, but the other Dwayne, that Easy Bait and Tackle for doing that. We truly do appreciate your continued commitment to this organization. And with that said, we had an awesome thing kick off for this month, and it's also happening next month, and that is the Warrior Cast and Blast. Now, I must admit, Chris, I've been a little bit absent. You know why. I'm not going to go into details. So I do appreciate you taking complete lead on this and then reaching out to Fishing Chaos and just making that platform so much easier to use for our warriors and boaters across the board.
Yeah, Casting Blast has been a big deal. We're somewhere around 86, 87 participants in that. We're going to close the first month out tomorrow, and we're going to go down the list and check out, see who our leaders are, and give out some prizes. It'll be some soft plastics. Who knows? May even throw a hat or something in there, and give out some prizes to these guys, and then you know. Let's see who tackles it for August. Me personally, I've been kind of absent on the fishing side too. I've got one fish, one 3.5 pound bass that's in Casting Blast. I'm holding on to 8th place right now and just getting my butt kicked by everybody else because I haven't been on the water. The Rangers been under the shed since July 3rd, just
Yeah.
life and everything else going on. But it's been exciting to see all the other warriors get out there and participate. And there's still some openings for Casting Blast for species that haven't been caught. We created a shark category and no
We did.
one's caught a shark. So
People thought we were
I'm
joking.
no,
We
we're
were.
definitely not joking. I'm waiting on that shark.
That's right.
And there's only been I think a 24 or 25-inch mahi entered. So there's several spots up for grabs with the right person getting out there fishing on it, especially on the saltwater side.
Yeah.
They can blow it away. Our catfish guy, we got one guy, I think his name is John Walker. He's put in like 157 inches worth of catfish. I mean, he's been
Wow.
catching some
You've
killers,
been killing
and
it.
it's hard. And when I go in the app and I'm trying to like zoom in, and you got to like zoom in and then slide the picture so I can check the measurement of that fish. He's been throwing some killer fish out there,
That's awesome.
and some of the ones he's been catching. So it's been really fun improving those and seeing every time somebody turns in a catch. It's been a lot of fun.
And I also want to say thank you. I know you and I pushed it out numerous times, whether it was through email, Facebook, or even on our video we did was please be patient with us. This is the first time we're doing this. And I think for the most part, it's been well received.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, absolutely has. It
so that's
absolutely has. And
awesome.
one other thing at the Greenville Expo, the gentleman that's right below us right now, and the shirt you have on, that was our first expo with taking our 250th shirt with us and showing it to the world, and in a public expo. So thank you, Ryan, for TTP, supporting us, and you know got my TTP shirt on
There you
right
go.
now as well. So there was a lot of good things that came out of the Greenville Expo.
Yeah. So real quick, guys, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please hit the subscribe button, like our videos, and comment on our podcast. Again, we say this in every podcast. If there's something that you want to see or a question that needs to be answered, let us know, and we'll be sure that it gets addressed. We will answer everything that you have. There's no, well, I can't say that. There's no really stupid questions, but we will still give a proper response. So, without further ado, I am honored. I am proud. We met this gentleman at the Greenville, South Carolina NOE outdoor fishing show. Eric Klink, again, I never take credit for anything that I did not have any part of, but Eric Klink said, "Hey, Ken, I need you to go talk to this guy. Follow me." That's a Marine, like, follow me. Oh, So I'm like, got it, man. Let's go. So we went around the corner, and there was this tall Ryan S. Again, I don't want to jack your name up. And we started
It's
talking.
Stelter. It's
And
Stelter, man. It's easy. Just
Steltler, right?
Stelter.
Is that right?
Stelter.
oh my
Boom.
god.
But regardless, we hit it off. I explained to him our mission. Just really, so far, I think this partnership that we have has definitely been working out. And without further ado, Ryan, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. It's an honor to be here.
Awesome. And recently, you had some good news. You had one of your son recently joined the Air Forces, and if I remind me, is currently in basic training as we speak.
Correct. We dropped him off at MEPS last week on the 20th, so he's coming around the corner on his first week of basic training.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
he's down in Texas.
Is that Lackland, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
sir.
awesome.
So when he gets home, we need to take him fishing.
That's right.
Absolutely. So I snuck in one trip right before 5 days before he went to basic. We went down to Louisiana and went fishing at Chandler Islands. So that was a nice
That's
little trip.
heck
But
yeah,
now
that's awesome.
he gets to come fishing as a warrior. So
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, Ryan, let's introduce yourself. Talk to us about what you do, how you do it, and how you came up with this awesome concept of TTP Outdoors, which, by the way, folks, is Twitch Pause.
there you go. So I'm Ryan Stelter or Ryan S. Whatever's easiest for you. There you go. He's got the
Stelter,
sleeve.
I got it.
Yeah, Stelter, you're good. You're good. That's how I know when people are telemarketing me. I get Shelter and Skepler. So, but
Only took 5
no,
tries.
what's that?
Only took 5 tries, but I got it.
Hey, we won't. You said your Army, right? Yeah.
Slow,
I have no room
slow
to talk.
down. That's okay. I'll take that. I deserve that.
Yeah. But no, the idea, I fish the coast. I'm an inshore fisherman, and for years I've been going down to the coast fishing. And I took one of my good friends, and his name's David Pruitt. Took him down there, and he's just an extremely good bass fisherman. I can't give the guy enough credit for how good he is bass fishing. And after about an hour or so down there chasing trouts and reds, he said, "Man, you're catching these trouts and reds just like I catch bass." I said, "Well, what do you mean?" He said, "Twitch, pause." And just okay. Thought about it for a second, and then I was like, "Okay, I put it, twitch, pause." And about 5 minutes later, he says, "Sounds like it should be on a hat or a shirt, don't it?" I looked back at us, because we're both ends of the boat fishing. I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Twitch, pause. Put that on a hat." So that rolled in my head for about 5 years. And fast
Wow.
forward, my cousin called me one day. There's a group of 5 of us, my buddy David, my cousin, some other guys. Every year we'd go down to the coast and we'd go trout fish and redfish. And the joke became that we were the TTP crew. And my cousin called me one day and said, "Hey, I want to do a shirt or a hat or a towel, something with a TTP on there for Twitch Falls." And he sent me some pictures of some ideas he had. And it really kind of, the whole idea that had been burning in my head for 5 years, it kind of took off. So I got with a graphics designer, and he and I talked for about 2 months. And you can't see it, it's backwards right now on the screen because of my phone, but you can see it on Chris's shirt. You can see it on some other stuff. We came up with the fish hooks for the TTP, standing for Twitch Paws. And there you go. And I still, all I was doing was putting together some hats and some towels to hang on our waist while we're fishing just for my crew. And people saw it. And the guy that helped me build the actual graphics itself, he said, you really got to look at trademarking this. You really got to do something with it. And I was like, I was just building this for my buddies. And he says, people see that TTP and they're gonna want to know what it is, and they're gonna want that logo. So we went from about 5 hats and 5 or 10 shirts that I did from my group of guys to now I've got a little small warehouse here full of stuff. And it's morphed into something I never thought it would be. And actually, this is one of our original shirts that I did. And as you know, our original shirts were a shirt that we screen printed, like a lot of companies do. They screen print it, put their logo on it. And the whole time I've started this business, we actually just turned 3 years old. I didn't even put a post out about it because I've been so busy. But June 26th, we turned 3 years old. And for all that whole time, I just didn't like the fact that we were using a unisex shirt, a shirt that anybody could buy. And so I'd been searching for manufacturers, and it was just a long process of trial and error and a lot of heartache and pain, a lot of frustration, and finally found the right manufacturer. And as you see the shirt you're wearing, Ken, that's one of the shirts that we have manufactured to our specs, our size. I can change it at a moment's notice, but it's made specifically for us. The colors have to be exactly the way I tell them I want the colors, or we don't approve it. So
right.
That's cool.
So we've kind of come to that point. So
the next question I'm going to ask you is the logo. If people look at that logo, they'll see some hooks, fish hooks.
Yes.
And I think that's like an awesome logo that represents what you do and how you do it. What made you come up with that particular design?
Well, I looked at several. If I could show you on the phone, all the different, probably 50, 60 different designs that we came up with. And I told the guy I was working with in graphic design, I said, I want the T, and the P to all have fish hooks. And I had seen something somewhere where a P was in a fish hook. And I said, I want to take this concept and I want to do it with the T and the P. And it was staggered. It was 1, 2, 3. And
Mhm.
it looked good. But I said, no, take it and do an angle now. And so he did the angle, and I started really seeing it. I said, now blend it together and make it the three hooks. And when he did that, as soon as I saw it, I said, that's it. That's it. That's perfect. And, as you may know, we originally started off as our name was Twitch Paws LLC. And, we a year ago changed it to TTP Outdoors. We had some trademark issues, which you can easily run into out there. And instead of fighting that, we changed our LLC to TTP Outdoors, which stands for Twitch Paws. And then we changed the spelling to TWICH, just to kind of move away from that issue and to move away from them. We didn't want to interfere with their trademark. So
Right.
that's actually really boosted our business because people are seeing TTP Outdoors, and then they see that we spell it differently. It's spelled totally different, just TWICH. They're like, that's really cool. You spell it different, you get the fish hook. So it's very catchy from that standpoint.
Yes.
So you wouldn't
Yeah.
believe I came up with the idea. You definitely wouldn't believe I came up with it. I feel like my wife came up with it, my
Yeah.
daughter came up with it.
Also, you're
I'm
not.
I'm giving Ryan a little bit of an idea too on his next project. We'll see if he puts it together. But I sent him a message. I don't know, a couple 2-3 weeks ago. I sent him a message. And I said, "What about some duck shorts?" And he said, "Man, it just takes money."
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah. So if I did everything that I wanted to do, I'd be 500,000 into this. So,
I'm
but
Right.
sure, probably so.
So
being someone who works full time and then has a small business, I do everything very carefully, very methodically. I try to listen to my customers and I see what they really are looking for. And it's like right now, my customers are screaming for different camouflage. They want camouflage in every different color we can come up with. So and that's kind of how we came up with our own camouflage pattern because I didn't want to use somebody else's pattern.
right.
And
So,
I really like that. It's the shirt that you and your wife made the video of when when you said when your camo pattern matches your beard,
oh,
and then your wife when the when the shirt matches her hair. That's my favorite pattern.
that one?
Yeah,
Yeah. So that's what we call our Yeti camo.
yeah.
That kind of started our camo trend, if you'd say. And, when I was looking for a camo pattern, I didn't want to use anybody's camo pattern. So I went back to the same gentleman that helped me design our logo. And I told him what I wanted to come up with, that I wanted an old school kind of a duck camo patch look, that I could take my colors and change the colors based on what color scheme we wanted. And that's exactly what we
Hmm.
did, uh, as far as that right there. And then we also have it in what y'all have seen, the coastal blue, which
Yeah.
is a similar blue to this. I have it right here, but and then that one we took that camouflage and then just added all kinds of features to that shirt, so that you generally don't see in a fishing shirt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the one.
Yeah.
It's got where you can cover your
Yeah,
face. It's got
yeah,
the hood. It's
yeah.
got the sleeves. Man, that shirt's it's all in one. It's
You want me to show
everything.
and tell?
By all
Sure,
means.
sure. This
Absolutely.
is yeah. This is all
So,
about TTP right now.
so
Heck yeah.
that's the shirt here. You can see it's got the front pocket just like you would have in a sweatshirt.
Hmm.
You can't see it on camera that well, but in the sleeves is a hidden thumb holes. And then, as you mentioned, we have the net gator built into it. And I'm the kind of guy, I do a lot of coastal fishing, like I said, so I don't like something on my face. Um, I don't like it, breathing in it that much. And a lot of the net gators and a lot of shirts I saw in years past that had net gators, they were just really restrictive, really tight. So I actually
Hmm.
oversized this. I made it about a half inch bigger on the neck or around your face. So when you put it on your nose, it stayed where it needs to stay. But I lengthened the gator itself by about 3 inches. So when you turn your head left or right, it doesn't pull. It stays exactly where you want it on your face and you
Hmm.
don't pull your shirt. And then, to top that off, we built in the hood with the drawstrings. attached. So when you're running 70 miles an hour in a bass boat,
Yeah.
you can pull that down and just pull it tight, and it's not going to flap around on you. It's not going to fly off. Helps keep your hat on too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
And when you're out there on the water, man, you can play tough guy all you want.
Hmm.
But when you get out there on the water and you're out there for hours on end, you'll find out when you come in, if you're not covering,
Yeah.
all this up, you'll find out really quickly. When you get in, you might not feel it while you're on the boat, but when you get in and you let
Oh
that
yeah.
heat and that sun set in, man, your face feels like
Oh,
a raw
absolutely.
potato. And so
Absolutely.
having a shirt like this where I mean, and I know it, some people, they think you're kind of looking like a thug, but no, I mean, you want it loose, and you want it
Yeah.
where it'll cover your face, when you're out there fishing. And so these shirts, I mean, I love wearing them.
Well,
I don't know, I got
on
3 or 4 of them.
these right here, the hood is also designed to come over the brim of our hat. So that way, when you're on the water, a lot of your hoods will stop right here. Well, then it
Right.
creates
Hmm.
flapping. It starts flapping on you. And these were created to where you can pull it down around the brim of your hat. So if you do pull the strings, it pulls it right here and pulls everything exactly where you want it. So if you want to make a run, or if you just want to keep the sun off your face, literally the only thing on your face that would be exposed if you wanted to be would be your eyes. And of course, we're all
Hmm.
wearing sunglasses out there. And with the thumb holes built in, it's going to bring the shirt down across the top of your hand. So really the only thing exposed is your fingers if you
Yeah.
choose to wear it that way. And a lot of fabrics out there, a lot of manufacturers, they do something similar. They charge you $80, $90, and the shirts are hot. You put them on, and
Hmm.
when you get in the sun, you can't stop the sun from making the exterior of the shirt hot, but you can make it not build up the heat inside your shirt. And a lot of these shirts, when you wear them, you actually feel hotter wearing them than if without. And that's I can't stand sunscreen. That's why I started these, because I wanted a shirt that I could wear and not have to put sunscreen on. So,
Hmm.
So let
oh
me
wow,
I
ask you a
would.
question, Ryan.
yeah,
So as a business owner, um, obviously you've dealt with both positive and negative impacts of your business.
yeah,
I would like you to share with folks who are watching this, and this is for those that have a plan or have a thought that they know that would maybe revolutionize the fishing world, but they
yeah,
just haven't took that big step. You know what I'm saying? They're just either financially they don't have the money to do it, they don't have the
yeah.
backing. But for those that are like right there at the cusp, what would you share with them about some of the positive and negative impacts of being a business owner, such as you, who had that someone said, "Hey, man, why don't you do this?" and then you did it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I really had no idea or inclination of starting a business. It morphed into that. But, I work a full-time job, have for 20 years at the same company. And that's a 10, 12-hour day job for me now. And in fact, I came into my office just, 30 minutes before we started this. So making that decision to start the business, my ultimate goal with starting this business is for it to get to a point where I can leave my full-time job, retire from it, and do this full time. But to do that, obviously there's a bridge, and you've got to be able to cross that bridge, and you have to be able to build your business to a certain point where you can do that. Me personally, I've chose to build this business out of my own pocket. So if something were to happen, there's nothing owed. I've built it that way. I've built it slower, purposely, so I can obviously feed my family, take care of my family with my full-time job, and the full-time job helps build the business from that standpoint. But there's pros and cons to everything. I mean, obviously, I work full time, and then I work on this all day long while I'm in the field for my job. I'm emailing, I'm texting, I'm talking to my manufacturer, I'm talking to people on social media that are messaging us about information, and then still trying to handle that full time job at the same time. Um, there's a lot of late nights. I mean, I average working till about 10, 11 o'clock at night at this point because I'm still in the building phase. I know we've been in business 3 years, but I truly don't think a small business can really take root until that fifth year. And this year, I've seen a turning point in our business of solid growth. Not just me pumping ideas out there, but now we're starting to really get traction with our customers. As you know, we've kind of started a second division of our business, um, helping customers with ideas that they have for shirts and putting that into real life for them. So, in fact, that hasn't even been announced until just now that we're doing that. And
Well, that was a great announcement.
there you go. So,
Mhm.
well, I haven't put it on social media, and I've been careful with that from the standpoint that I'm very particular what I do. I'm very OCD, and I always underpromise and overdeliver for my customers. That is my goal of everything I do in sales, everything I do in my business. I want to underpromise it, overdeliver, and I didn't want to put a huge post out there that we're doing this and then have 10, 15 people reply at one time, which has already happened, honestly. So it's already happened without the social media. And so we're building that, we're learning, and, we're overcoming little obstacles as we come across them in the business. So this time next year, we'll be honestly full force doing both. We'll have our apparel side for our outdoor apparel for our customers that are just wanting the outdoor apparel, and then we'll also have the other side where we're actually manufacturing products for folks who want to have their own shirts, hats for their business, or just for their own personal use.
That's so awesome.
And we've seen similar with Take Away Fishing this year, and that's just actually a discussion that we had in our board meeting a few nights ago, and just talking about the growth. And you can have growth that you can manage, or you
Yeah,
can have growth that you don't manage, and you start to lose quality.
well, it
And that's
manages
something
you.
that that's something that's very important to us to Take Away Fishing too as we grow, as much as we've seen change for 2026 for us, and being able to still give that same quality and that same attention to every single warrior when they come along. You don't want to get big too fast that you can't keep up with it.
Exactly, and that's how I've grown this business. So many people say, "Man, you should do this, you should do that," or, why aren't you producing that? And I don't want to, I guess, cut my nose off, spite my face, but yet I've got to be very methodical about what I do in the business so I don't sit on inventory that just doesn't
Mhm.
move.
Right.
Uh, so obviously, I haven't grown this business as fast as some people would like to see it because they want to see more products. But once again, I do it based on the business itself and let the business grow itself from that standpoint. Stand on its own 2 feet from that standpoint. So.
Well,
Let me ask.
you don't want that capital to sit there on the shelf and just be idle. You want that capital working.
Yeah, and I learned that lesson the hard way with a couple of my very first initial designs. We went to a couple of expos, we sold really well, and then, well, expo season's only once a year, and until you build your online business, that is the hardest part. I'll say that right now.
Mhm.
The online section is extremely difficult, especially when you're doing so many other different things. And that was a slap in my face, thinking, okay, well, I've been in sales 30 years. Uh, I'm face to face with customers all day long, every day. Selling's not going to be a problem. That's what I love to do. I love solving problems for folks. And when I got to the online side, I was like, wow, this is a whole different beast. I always joke I'm a 52-year-old man in a 20-year-old's world because that's what's
That's
running
right.
the social media right now.
Yeah.
So, and and Chris, by the way, Chris is going to take over my social media. We discussed the other night. He said not a problem in the world. He was going to do it. He's going to do it for free too.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
sure. Hey, all you gotta do is feed him and give him some free shirts, and he's good.
Well, if I keep feeding them, then I have to give them bigger free shirts.
Yeah, it creates another problem. Yeah, yeah. But
Yeah,
I will say, Ryan's been a huge supporter of Takeaway Fishing and our TikTok page. We started back in June, and man, I can't. I think every single day, there's some kind of message exchange between he and I, or he's sharing our post on his story, and we're talking back and forth and keeping that moving. And
yeah,
I've been trying to share his page a little bit and help get him some visibility on his TikTok account, and get him a few followers. And that was actually got him a TikTok. Between he and I talking
yeah.
and posting information, TikTok got him a customer. So that was
Yep.
a big win for Ryan and his business and helping him out. And it's fun for me because you as big a supporter as he became for takeaway fishing in 2026. And now I'm able to, we're able to kind of give back to him a little bit and help support his business. That's a huge win for us.
Well, ultimately, that's the name of the game for small business. It's not just me. It's not just you. It's
Hmm.
everyone working together. And that's,
Yeah.
you mentioned that expo in North Carolina. I hated that I couldn't make that when I found out y'all were doing that. I love doing these expos because not only do I sell a lot of products when it goes expos, but the relationships, like the relationship with y'all.
Hmm.
I never would have met y'all. I probably would never would have found you. It's taken me some time, but to
Right.
meet you face to face and make that connection. And even when we met, I don't think either of us really realized the kind of connection we can make there. And
Hmm.
when the more I researched your foundation and saw what y'all did for the military, as I've told you, I'm not military. I'm civilian, but I have a huge spot in my heart for the military. Always have. I always feel
Hmm.
that they're underappreciated. Same with our police force. I feel they're very underappreciated. And so is our military. And so I've always tried to do something to benefit military. And so by meeting y'all and seeing what y'all did and, just your motto of fishing heals. I mean, that's huge. It really, people don't think
Hmm.
about it. Just that time on the water, sometimes the quiet.
Yeah.
You could be on the water with a warrior and you don't have to speak. You just
No,
fish, and that could
that's
be
right.
more
Yeah.
healing to that person
Hmm.
than catching a 10-pound bass. But just for
And
them to be on the boat with you and have that solitude. So
Yeah, no,
yeah,
absolutely right.
it really is. We had a trip today, and the boater texted me today, and he said, I think he got more today from the trip, just as much from the trip as the warrior himself. And today is
yeah,
one of those days where he's like, man, this is why
yeah,
we do it right here.
yeah. I've told y'all 100 times I cannot wait till I get a chance to take someone out. Get down to the coast and take them out for a day
Yeah,
down in the
just let us know.
inshore
We'll
Florida.
make it happen.
Absolutely.
We will make it happen, even
I
if
just
it's
got to
last
get my
minute.
boat out of the shelter.
Literally.
I know. My boat literally it gets fished hard about 10 days a year. And that's about the time I get to fish because I just don't get a chance to break away for a weekend or a Saturday. There's so many other things going on, so I literally have to leave
Hmm.
town and go fish for 7, 8 days
Oh,
straight.
absolutely. Yeah.
So,
Well, the
but that's my
biggest thing
time.
that I think
So,
we did when we talked on the phone, we were going back and forth. I know, like you said, you work full time,
mhm.
via email and phone calls. And we even put it in our newsletter. And I know Chris took an opportunity. He took advantage of it. Eric Klink took advantage of it. Was that you said, hey, let's do a code so that when a warrior or someone wants to buy one of your shirts, they get
Yeah,
10% off.
yeah,
And the code, by the way, you'll see it on the screen below, is warrior. And that 10% accumulates over time, and then Ryan's going to donate that 10% to Take Away Your Fishing.
yeah.
So
Every yeah.
that's awesome. I mean, we definitely appreciate it. I know our Warrior Nation definitely appreciates it, and I'm telling y'all, if you haven't bought one of these TTT or TTP shirts, they're so comfortable. They're lightweight. I use them when I go out on the water. Matter of fact, the one that you sent, the white camouflage one,
Hmm.
I like, that's my favorite. I'm not gonna lie. I wear that all the time. My wife's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I'm fine." It's just you don't know. Quiet. Um, but man, but on the boat, in the heat, I mean,
Yeah,
like Chris was saying, like you don't know how hot you get until you get done. You're driving back in your truck or car, and you're like, "Damn!" And then it hits you. But I wear it all the time. I don't get sunburnt. Like even on the boat, I mean, I have a pontoon, so it goes about up to 40 full, and it doesn't come off. The hood doesn't come off. It catches
yeah.
right up here, and the quality is just it really surpasses other manufacturers and companies that do what you're doing. So
Thank
I
you. I
want to
do
on
say
on
appreciate
the
that.
thank you.
He's on the water with his party barge.
There you
Yeah,
go.
it is a Ranger party barge, man. It's a
It's a
nice
Ranger.
It's
boat.
it's
It's a
it's at
Ranger.
least a Ranger. It's at
It's a
Yep.
least a
Ranger
Ranger.
with a big 150 Merc on it. But Brian, do you have anything else you'd like to let the Warrior Nation know, or anybody that is like maybe watching this for the first time?
First of all, thank you 100% for your service. Any of the service men and women out there, I can't thank you enough. And as we mentioned before, my son has just joined the Air Force, so that hits even harder there. Just appreciation that I have as a civilian for everything that our warriors do, current and folks who are now veterans. So and just can't thank you enough, really. And look forward to working more with the foundation and meeting warriors while I'm out there. Can't wait for the next show we go to, and hopefully someone comes up and says, "Man, I saw you on Take a Warrior Fishing podcast," and to shake their hand.
Yeah.
That's
That's right.
sometimes that's the best thing ever, is to meet people that have seen us through something like an avenue such as yourself. So that's really cool.
Mm.
But
Right.
and to the people out there thinking of starting a business, get out there, try it.
That's right.
Everyone's afraid to fail, but this world, America, did not move forward on success alone. You can't.
That's right.
You got to fail. You got to fail in order to figure out what you're doing wrong, so you can do it right and do it better. So get out there and try it.
You know what the song says? Dreams don't chase themselves.
That's right. That's right. And in the sales world, I've always said that the selling doesn't start till someone says no. That's when you get going. So
some more advice.
When your son, when you see your son when he graduates, don't be shocked if the person that you dropped off at MEPS and the person that you meet at graduation are two different people.
I'm already expecting at least one chin hair, but maybe two. No, no. I can tell you, he has been dying to go. And the transition that he has made just in the past year preparing for this has been huge. But yes, I think
I'm sure.
I know you're 100% correct. When I see him for the first time at graduation, it's not going to be my son anymore. It'd be my son, but it's going to be a grown man standing there before me. And more so, a warrior. So
he's gonna be standing a little bit taller. His chest is going to be out a little bit more, and you're going to see a different look in his eye.
Yep, and I can't wait. I'm so proud of him.
But he's Air Force, so don't think we won't give him a hard time about that lobster and his Dijon mustard.
So yeah, he's going through basic now. He's going through basic now, where it's kind of like they get that civilian out of you. But once he gets to permanent, his duty assignment, Kush.
I don't know. He's going into TAC P, so he's going into the pipeline, and he was originally going PJ, and he missed the cutoff date for his basic training. So they said you can either go early, which Mama said no, or you could go in September. And he said I'm not waiting until September. He said I'm going now. So he's going in as TAC P, and he can, if he chooses to, he can move up into PJ later on down the road if he's got to make it through that whole process. So, which I have no doubt he will. But there's
a lot of the day-to-day stuff. A lot of people some people don't understand the military. When you're just on base, there's a lot of stuff. It's not a lot of different from a regular 8 to 5 job. I mean, there's things you got to do every day, and you go to work, you got lunch, and you get off work, and then it just depends on what duty you got to pull. But there is a lot of the day-to-day stuff it's still just like an 8 to 5 job. It just happens to be you got the same uniform every day.
Yeah. Well, he's living his best life right now. I promise you, he is.
Oh yeah.
He was in JROTC program in high school all the way through with Raiders. So the conditioning and everything, he's been doing that for 4 years. He throws on 40 pounds and runs 6 miles. In fact, training for the Air Force, he went to Currahee, I guess is where the big hill, and correct me if I'm wrong. Is it Currahee? Is that right? Where they have the training center?
Oh, it's Currahee.
Currahee, yes. He would drive up there by himself, throw on 40 pounds weight, and run it by himself, up and down.
That's 3 miles up and 3 miles down.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He said, if I can't do that, then I don't deserve to be in. So he made sure he could do it several times.
That's awesome.
That's
Yeah.
That's
good.
awesome.
He didn't get it from me.
No, I'm pretty sure you got the best of both worlds from your wife, but it's okay. We won't let her know.
Absolutely. Yep. He got the looks and the brains from her.
Well,
So
all right,
he got the
Ryan. We appreciate you having you on, man.
awesome, man.
You can stay on if you like. You can log out. We'd love to have you on if you want to finish up the podcast with us. Your decision, but we definitely appreciate you having you on, sharing your story,
Absolutely. Yeah.
why you support Take Away Your Fishing, and we definitely honor your family for your son right now for his service to the country. I used to tell my soldiers only 10% of Americans will only raise their right hand to do a job that others like either laugh at, joke, or stray away from. So
Yeah.
10%. That's what we do. We honor that 10% every day.
Well, we thank y'all for what y'all have done. And I'm really proud of my son, and I appreciate y'all very much. So thank you for having me on here. This has been a huge honor.
Yes, sir.
You
We
just don't
Absolutely.
appreciate you.
We're glad to have you.
So yeah, I'll go ahead and log out. I got a bunch of stuff to catch up on.
All right, brother.
Thank you again, Ryan.
Thank you
Thank you.
guys. I appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Now I
All
got to figure
right,
out how to log out.
Chris. So normally Dwayne does all this stuff, but he's absent. So let's talk about how, and I want you to talk about this. How does
Okay.
someone volunteer, participate, sign up, or do anything with us?
All right.
Where would they go?
So we'll just go to the website. Go www.warriorfishing.org. Go to the contact page, hit that contact us, fill that form out. That gets us an email. Then they get a response from myself or you or Joe, and we get them in the database, and we take off from there. They can also follow us on all of our social media channels: TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, on YouTube to see our podcast. Take a Warrior Fishing Incorporated. Follow that name on all of our social media platforms. Look out on our social media platforms because that's where you're going to see our trips. That's where you're going to see the opportunity to join Take a Warrior Fishing and jump in one of our trips when we have them. We've had some last minute trips this week, and
Yes, we
so
have.
being part of our social media network, you never know when a trip's going to pop up, and it could be 5 o'clock in the afternoon, it could be 2 o'clock in the afternoon, saying, "Hey, go fishing at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning."
Right.
So following all of our social media channels, going to our website, and getting put in the database. And then there's email blasts that we send out from time to time with updates as well. So those are all the different channels to follow us on social media and our website and our email.
Yeah, and the biggest thing, I know our Great Lakes region right now is really taking off with Joe Palazzo and Cal. They're just really hitting it hard. They're taking every opportunity to go to these little local events that are happening and popping up around the community, and they're just setting up, and it's been proven worthy on their part for sure. And
Yeah, absolutely.
Florida, I mean, Chris Montgomery's killing it too. He's already looking at some possible events or expos, excuse me, for next year. One of them is Bassarama, and then you got the other one, which is the same thing we went to, the NOE, but I believe that one's in Georgia. So
There's Georgia and then there's Jacksonville. So there's two
yep,
opportunities
that's right.
at the NOE. I wanted to go to Cartersville, but it's probably a good I probably don't need to go. The NOE Cartersville is the same weekend as my wife's birthday,
Yeah, you would.
so
Yeah, no.
I'm gonna stay home that weekend.
Is she listening right now? Because I thought I heard her.
She's around the corner, so
She's
she
taking
she could.
notes.
Yeah, she could probably hear me. She's around the corner, but
That's
yeah,
awesome.
I'm not going. I'm not going to go to the expo that weekend. I will definitely be home.
So you choose life.
Yes, yes.
So,
Choose
folks,
wisely as well.
it's just something that's happening. We did it last year, and just a reminder, it's coming up. We're going to be doing a Warrior Week of Giving. So people ask us all the time, "Hey, I'm not a warrior. I don't own a boat, and I don't fish, but I still want to be part of your organization. I want to contribute. I want to make, something important happen." And they're like, "How do I do it?" The biggest thing is donations. So you can go to our website at www.warriorfishing.org/donate/. You can either do a one-time donation. You can also do a monthly donation. Also, if you're a business or a company and you want to reach out to your company, or a small business and you want to donate, you can do that as well. We'll reach out to you. We have all the information to talk about partnerships, sponsorships, and then all the awesome perks that come with it, being tagged, like TTP Outdoors with Ryan. I mean, we had a conversation that was private. I'm not going to share it with everyone, but his business is doing very well. It has nothing to do with takeaway or fishing, but we tag him in not almost every single post. And he's like, wow, that's awesome. So a newsletter, we have information on our newsletter, but the Warrior Week of Giving is coming up in August, second week of August. It's going to be from Monday through Sunday. And every single day there's going to be a video posted, and it's going to have our testimonies from our warriors and boaters. And it's all just talking about how takeaway or fishing made them feel. How did the trip make them feel? And our mission is always fishing heals. So, and last year was really cool. It was well received by the internet, the community. And it's just when I was compiling all the information of, everyone's comments, I got a little emotional because some of these I didn't want to share a lot because it was private, they even said, keep this private. And it really, a lot of our warriors are in a dark place. And that fishing trip has changed their lives. And I personally can attest to that. I've seen it. A gentleman at one of the expos was in a really dark place. I asked him, let's talk off to the side in private. We did. He signed up. His wife came up to me a year later at an expo, pulled me off to the side and said, that one trip changed not only his life, his marriage, his job. And that's my payback right there. If I can change one warrior, just one, and it did, it happened. So that's my payback. That's why I do this. That's my motivation.
Yeah. And for the week of giving, what I can say to anybody, times are tight. Times are always, and prices of everything are always going up. $5 goes a tremendous distance for us. You would not believe, how much $5 can make a difference. It doesn't have to be a large donation. If you can send $5, send $10. If you can send 20, send what you can. We appreciate it, and we put it to work. It's going to benefit Takeaway Fishing. It's going to allow us to put together some of the events we put together. It's going to allow us to be able to, the event we have coming up in September, that it's a new spot for us. We got to do a lot of groundwork, a lot of setting up and making arrangements for the event and everything to go on, and all that. We're a nonprofit, but it still costs money to run the organization, to be able to put events together. And then when what we do when you're out on the water with these guys, one of the most powerful things that you can do is make someone else smile, give them a motivation, a reason to look for tomorrow. And it's just, you would not believe how powerful that can be. It happened to me. I took a warrior on the water, and I just took the guy fishing. We just caught some bluegill. But when I got him back to land and got him off the boat and was going to shake his hand and tell him goodbye, he didn't want to shake my hand. He wanted a hug, because for that hour and a half, almost 2 hours that he was on the water, he got to escape his disabilities, because he was able to fish and I was able to put that rod and reel in his hand, and he was able to be him again. He was able to leave the harsh realities on the bank, and that's very powerful. That's very moving when you can accomplish that.
Absolutely. And I'm just excited, man. And what's cool? We have our latest edition of Tight Lines coming out on 1 August, and just this July alone has been epic. That's the word. That's the word of the month, epic. And when I say epic, there's literally 14 pages in that newsletter of photos from all the trips. And I'm talking trips from West Coast to the north, to the south, to the east. And I'm telling you, when you see it from Chris and I's foxhole, when we say the growth is expanding, it's really expanding, and
Yeah,
that's
it really
just
is.
really cool. So that's coming out the same time this podcast is. And again, you can find us on all different types of social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And all that information will be down below, so you can access it. And we got a sponsor update, man. So I know we kind of hit on it in the beginning. First of all, GoPrime Mortgage renewed their commitment with us. So thank you, GoPrime. We really appreciate it. I know you guys were out there for the Sharon Harris event last year, and I got to meet both of y'all. And I tell you, I was doing my explaining how we operate, and they actually were able to see the Warriors coming back off the water, with their fish bags going in for the weigh-in, and then seeing all that camaraderie and everything that we talk about with empowerment and how it changes. They witnessed it. So they know for a fact that what they're doing, what they're supporting, what they're sponsoring, they're doing it for a good cause. So thank you. Adam Riley of Riley's Deer Processing, another new sponsor for us. Thank you, Adam. I know you've been with us with Take a Warrior for a couple of years as a warrior. Now you're still a warrior, but now you get to see a lot of the other good things. And I'm not saying we need any more deer meat, but I'm just saying that was really good meat you made. But talk about, we are still looking for boaters for Carr Lake. Warriors, I think we can get warriors all day long. We need more boaters. So Virginia side of the house,
we're at 41 now.
Yeah, so we're going to be so Carr Lake. We all know it borders Virginia, North Carolina. Virginia, it's Kerr Lake. For North Carolina, it's Carr Lake. But we're looking for boaters. Bugs Island, that's another term people know it by. But so far, we've landed the venue for our meeting, our participating meeting for Friday. We got a color guard. We're still looking for. We got a possible food vendor for Saturday. We're working that. But Chris, this is awesome, man. So we are doing. Everyone knows, if you haven't been, we do our raffles at our events. All right, everyone gets a free raffle ticket, whether it's a boater or a warrior, and you have a chance to win some awesome prizes. Tell us, Chris, what can they win?
So Uncle Chris, I've got a thing for JDM. JDM tackle. If you don't know us, Japan domestic made. So the trends from bass fishing all start in Japan and then they migrate here. That's why everybody's got all the sea urchin baits. That's where it came from. It came from Japan. But there's another company. It's called OSP. They have some crazy products. They have some amazing stuff that will flat out catch bass. And so for our glide bait fishermen, this is for our guys that like the big stuff. They have a bait called a Karen 180. So Take a Warrior Fishing is gonna have a Karen 180 prize pack to raffle off. And there's 5 baits here and a couple replacement tails. So I'm gonna turn my screen around here for a second.
This a sneak peek?
Well, I'm trying to. How do I see here? It won't let me. Let's see. I can't turn my screen around, so I'll turn my phone around.
There we go.
Let's see here. Where's it at? Can you see?
There we go. I can see a little bit of it. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So we have this one, this chrome one. Let's see, that's that one. This chrome one over here. Then we have. Let me get my phone. You got this chartreuse on the bottom. You got a pink one. This is, I think, like a green pumpkin, and then another chrome one here. Then we're gonna have 2 replacement tails for the 2 of the baits. So these baits are roughly they're about $60 a piece if you go buy them retail.
Right.
And here's the thing, so this stuff all comes from Japan. You can't go to Bass Pro and buy this stuff. You absolutely cannot. So these came from Hookup Tackle in Phoenix, Arizona, and they're sold out. They're blowed out. When they have them, and when they're gone, they're gone. Well,
Right.
Uncle Chris got 5 of them, and they're going to be raffled off. And so if you're into big baits, come to Car Lake. Get that dude right there, and these things will catch fish. Big baits catch big bass.
That's right. Absolutely. So, we need boaters. We got 3 events remaining for the year. We got the Car Lake event, we got our Sharon Harris event, and then we got a new one, which is going to be in Bellhaven. And that no longer is a speckled trout tournament, folks. That is going to be a multi-species event. So that's going to be awesome. And I'm pretty sure there's 5 bags. And the same thing, all these events that are happening at the end of this year
All
are all
multi-species.
multi-species. So, and that's going to be awesome. So let's go on here real quick. So sponsor shout outs again, GoPrime, thank you very much. I know if Dwayne's on here, Dwayne normally will list off every single one of them, but we want to thank all of our sponsors for everything that you do and the representation that you allow us to do for you. That is truly an honor. So other than that, Chris, what's up, man?
Just getting ready for September, getting these trips rolling out, keep getting more warriors in. Right before the podcast, got another boater. Actually, doesn't live too far from me, so I'm going to be reaching out to him. I think his name is Dustin, so I'll be reaching out to him shortly and getting him in the email and getting these guys on the water. I haven't been on the water since July 3rd, so Saturday, Uncle Chris is going to be back on the water, and Boss Lady is going to be on the water with me. So if you're on Jordan Lake, you see that Ranger come flying by, throw your hand
pontoon.
up, wave at me.
My pontoon.
It won't be your pontoon.
Are y'all going to Jordan Lake Saturday?
Yes, we are. We're gonna go blow out some of that grass. It's the water's up. We're gonna see what's going on in the grass.
I know a perfect spot too where there's a lot of grass. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm not talking about your yard. I'm not talking about your yard, King.
I was assuming that was the bad fish joke, but I'm assuming not. but I'll take it because it's almost true. I suck at fishing. I say that from day one. So, I always get the target on my head because I say that. But I enjoy fishing. I enjoy what we do. I enjoy the mission that we uphold and the honor that we definitely give to our warriors. And like I said, what Dwayne says, if it wasn't for the boaters, this wouldn't be really happening. So thank you to all the boaters out there for doing what you do, because without you, we wouldn't be able to do our mission at all. So thank you very much for that. All right.
Yeah, I'm glad to see the growth. Glad to see everything we have going on. July has just been an amazing month. Looking forward to seeing what August is going to hold in store. We've already blown away 2025 for July and August, just in the month of July. So really looking forward to seeing what August has in store for Take Warrior Fishing. Really excited and keeping our warriors on the water.
That's right. All right, Chris, we're about to wrap this up. So let's see if you remember being your second podcast. For those who are about to fish, we salute you.